let's turn our attention to the game a little bit. Bengals have Trey Hendrickson back, one in camp. That's still a defense that has lost a lot. When you look at this game, what are some of the keys and some of the things you'll be paying attention to Browns-Bengals in week 1?
Well, the first thing I think I will be looking at is really the Browns' defensive line and Myles Garrett against their offensive line and going against Joe Burrow and trying to disrupt him and just take him off his mark and take him out of his game so that he can't get the ball into the hands of his playmakers, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And so that's number one, is to see what Myles and those guys can do. And then the other thing, of course, is to see Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome trying to shut down T and Jamar. Really looking forward to seeing how that all works out. I think the tight ends could factor in big into this game. I think that it's a potential big game for David Njoku, especially run after catch. I think they might be a little bit vulnerable in the middle of their defense there. So, let's see what Harold Fanning can do. And then Joe's going to take his shots. Joe is going to take those shots downfield to Jerry Jeudy, to Said Tillman, and to some of the other guys, maybe Isaiah Bond. I know he'll get some playing time. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. Let's see what else. The running game, I do think the Browns are going to try to establish the run, and I think that will help them. That'll open up things in the passing game if they can do that. And as I mentioned before, really looking forward to seeing what these rookies can do.
Do you think it's mainly Jerome Ford that they're going to lean on, or is it closer to an even split between Ford and Sampson relative to carries, or is it hot hand?
Yeah, I mean, it could end up being the hot hand, but I think more so, once again, I think you'll see Jerome in on first and second, and then Dylan perhaps coming in on third down. And then we'll see what Raheem is able to do. But I think that they will try to get the running game accomplished in other ways too in this game through jet sweeps and end arounds as well. So I don't think it will all just be on the running backs.
We've talked about this and it being a focus. How important turnovers, the turnover margin. Kevin Stefanski has made a point of mentioning that whenever asked. How important is that as we head into a offense that can score and a defense that doesn't look to be quite where they were?
Well, I think it's probably the number one key to winning this season for them is to take the ball away more than they did last year and to not give it away to the extent that they did last year. I think if they're winning the turnover battle on a consistent basis, they can win some games. If they get that turned around, I think you're already at 7 victories. And then maybe you add a couple others here or there. But if they can just fix that, and that's going to be a key for Joe Flacco. In his last 4 starts in Indianapolis, he turned the ball over 9 times, 6 interceptions, 3 lost fumbles. So he's got to get the ball out quickly, and he cannot be taking those sacks and get stripped. But he also has to make sure that when he throws the ball downfield, that he's being careful enough that it's not going to get picked off. So these are some of the things that they're going to have to do. But if they can win the turnover battle on a consistent basis, then they can stay in the hunt for who knows how long.
All right, before I let you go, what do you expect from Joe Flacco? The time you saw him in preseason looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he looked pretty good. The thing that I'm curious about with Joe Flacco is he's 2 years older now. And if he can't move, if he's lost even another step, then it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to elude these really, really quick and fast pass rushers. And so he can't be vulnerable to the strip sack. That's what they don't need. And then, same thing. Does he, is he as his arm is just as strong as it ever was? But we're just going to have to see, are his reflexes and everything as quick where he's getting the ball out as fast as he needs to and all of that. So very anxious to see what Joe Flacco is able to do, but he has looked good in practice.